This is the plaintiff, Thomas Chavez. He says he was helping out the defendant on his film and provided all the lights and technical expertise in setting them up and lighting all his sets. The inexperienced director-producer got way in over his head, refuses to pay him the agreed-upon wages for his 20-hour days of work. And although he doesn't relish having to sue clients, he has no other choice because he needs the money. He's suing for $1,200, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Noel Calloway. He says the plaintiff's trying to pull a fast one because he ended up working harder than he originally thought. They agreed on a flat rate for his work, had a handshake deal, and that's that, because he's been paid in full. He's accused of dimming an employee's lights.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Thomas Chavez and Master Shot Films, you are suing Noel Calloway and Noel Calloway Films for $1,200 that you say is owed to you, $900 of it, the balance of a fee that you say he owes you, and $300 of it, your time lost in trying to collect that fee. All right, what do you do for a living?
I'm a gaffer grip, which
Tell me what a gaffer grip means.
Totally. People basically hire me. Like if you're going to do a short film or a music video, I basically bring my lights, I kind of set them up and make it look moody, make it look, happy, sad, whatever you want, basically, and create the mood through lighting. So directors, producers, and just general filmmakers, they basically hire me to bring my van and all my lights and equipment to basically do the lighting for their projects.
Okay, so your package comes with you and the equipment.
Exactly.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
Since college, about 2 years or so.
Okay. Now, how did the defendant find out about you? Like, was there a connection, a mutual friend?
Yeah, there's a mutual friend of mine, and I guess someone who'd worked with Noel before, and he basically brought me onto the project. He called me and emailed me about it, mentioning that he was working.
Okay, and what was the project?
It was a short film entitled Happy Birthday.
Happy Birthday. And what was Happy Birthday? What is Happy Birthday about?
It's about a 16-year-old prostitute who's being abused by a stepfather and is prostituting herself to raise money to get her and her younger sister out of the situation before her younger sister turns 14, which is when the abuse started with her.
Okay. Is it finished?
Yes.
Is it playing anywhere?
It's in post-production now. We're editing.
It's in post-production right now? Do you have any plans, or how does this work? I guess once it's finished is when you submit it to festivals and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what was the budget for this?
The budget in total was $12,000.
$12,000. And who was funding this? Yourself?
I was, yes.
Okay. All right. So now you get hired, and according to you, what's the agreement between you and Noel about what you're going to get paid?
Mm-hmm. Well, originally I had spoken to a mutual friend of mine about my rate.
Originally, you spoke to the go-between, the mutual friend of the two of you, and you spoke to him about your rate, but I assume at some point you spoke to the actual guy who's paying the rate, right?
Actually, I only spoke, I did speak with him actually prior, like a few days before the shoot.
Okay, and what did you two talk about? You confirmed the rate you discussed with the go-between? And yes or no? Why are you hesitating?
We really didn't talk like numbers, really. I spoke mostly numbers with the producer of the film.
Is the go-between the producer of the film?
He is, yeah.
Oh, okay. And so the producer of the film, yeah?
That's not true.
Okay, well, we'll get to you in a second. So according to you, the producer of the film negotiates with you what rate?
It's $1,400.
$1,400. Mm-hmm. And now you ended up using an assistant.
I did, yeah.
And was that assistant going to get paid out of the $1,400?
No, he was basically supposed to get paid separately.
Right. How much?
I had stated $150 per day for my assistant, and about midway through the production, or the day before the production, when it was brought up, the producer basically mentioned that that there was a misunderstanding about the rate, and that Noel thought that it was only $100 per day. So on the third day of the shooting, Noel and the producer and we basically met. It was brought up that he would basically pay me an extra $200 in order to compensate my assistant, because my assistant had done such a great job.
Okay. Now, how many days was this film?
It was a 4-day shooting.
4-day shoot.
Yeah.
All right. Now, do you start work without getting paid a penny?
Usually I collect a deposit first, and then at the end I settle the balance.
What'd you do in this case is my question.
This case, because the producer was a good friend of mine, I basically went onto the project, and then halfway through the project, Noel paid me a deposit of $700, which was half my rate.
And did Noel pay anything to your assistant?
Yeah, at the end of the shoot, he paid my assistant $400, which was basically $100 per day, And then the agreement between myself, the producer, and Noel was that he would basically compensate me an additional $200 because I was going to pay my assistant $200.
Okay, so at the end of the day, your assistant got $400 from him and was supposed to get another $200 from him.
Exactly.
But you
So
paid that
I fronted
$200.
that money to him.
All right, and at the end of the day, according to you, you're supposed to get the remaining $700 of your $1,400.
Exactly.
So according to you, $900 is owed. Okay, now, do you do anything in writing?
No, I mean, well, I have basic email correspondences between both of us and text messages. Basically.
No, but did you try to get something in writing from him?
Yeah, I mean, I emailed him several copies of my contract.
You have a standard contract?
I do, yeah. The second day of the shoot, I brought a contract for him to sign.
And did he sign it?
Well, he looked at it. He never got it back to me.
The bottom line of it is that the contract never got signed.
Never got signed.
All right, let me hear your version of this. What's the story?
Okay, just for starters.
By the way, was it any good? Was the project good?
It was. He was a great guy to work with, you know, and the project was a good project.
It's a good project. Like, you're happy about the film?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, and your participation. Okay,
Sure.
good. All right, so, Mr. Calloway, what's going on? Other than this little incident.
Yeah, this is just a wrinkle because
Yeah,
he was,
it's a
he was
wrinkle,
also
but-
he was great to work with also. I think having the go-between, doing a lot of the communicating with him is what got us here. Because I knew in financing this out of pocket, I knew what my constraints were budget-wise. There was only $1,000 for lighting.
Okay.
And I don't know what the other gentleman and he spoke about, who wasn't a producer, by the way. He was my first assistant director, which has nothing to do with money. That's all technical stuff.
Why are you letting him negotiate the deal then?
He's not negotiating.
But he is. According to you, you're telling me, well, I agree with you. The problem was that there was a third party talking about his rate with him. You didn't talk about his rate. You hired him and didn't talk about his rate. You let somebody else do it. So the question is, who's that on? That go-between. Who's that on? Does that go against you or does that go against him? If that go-between is a part of your flick and he's the one who you allow to do the money discussion, that's a problem. That fellow's not here today, right?
No.
Who is that nice man?
That's Roy.
Is he a witness or moral support?
No, he's a witness who's going to morally support me.
Okay, so go on.
The reason why he initiated money discussions was because in the independent film world, it's all, I know this person who does this. So being that he and the go-between had worked together prior, he's like, I have a great
producer,
guy.
director, whoever this friend is.
Yes, I have a great guy. He brings his own lights. He works really hard. He'll do it. And my conversations were never what can he do it for. It was, this is what I have.
But hold on, you're saying that, but then you don't see to it that this is communicated to him. You let him start working on the project, trusting whatever the producer / first assistant director, whatever this gentleman's role is, you let him start with whatever understanding that guy had.
I'm understanding that this guy has the same understanding that I have. It's never dawning on me
do you talk to anybody else who's working on the film about what it is that they're going to get paid and if they're going to get paid?
Everyone.
You talk to everyone except for this guy?
I spoke with him also.
Okay, so when you speak with him, is it before or after the film is made?
This is like 3 days into the production.
So 3 days into production, you talked to him about money, and what was the discussion?
It was just basically that I couldn't give him his money now. And then when I gave him the $700, I understood that I was going to give the balance of the $1,000 plus another $100, which was extending myself, to the other gentleman who was assisting him, who was phenomenal. So after the fact, I did agree to pay him an additional $200. And I did agree to pay Thomas an additional amount of money as a courtesy because of how hard we all worked on this project together.
So are you saying to me then, all right, what you paid while people were working was $700 to him?
Yes.
And how much to the other fellow?
$400.
And you feel that $1,100 was what you agreed to pay. But because everyone worked so hard, you had agreed to pay them a bonus that wasn't part of your, or you decided to just give them a gift of an additional $300 and an additional $200? It
wasn't a gift. It was the other gentleman coming to me and saying, listen, this is well below their rates.
Okay, and that's fine. So you're saying to me then, Judge, I originally was only supposed to pay $1,000. I ended up paying $1,100, and I agreed to pay another $500.
Absolutely.
That is what you're saying. But you never paid that other $500, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, and now tell me about this contract. He presents that contract to you, and you never signed it, correct?
No, I didn't.
So, if whoever this defendant authorized to make the deal made a bad deal, is the defendant stuck with that deal?
Yes.
Because?
Because the guy chose him as his proxy, and as a proxy, he has to honor the deal that the proxy negotiated.
Well stated. You agree with that?
Yes.
That simple? What do you think?
I agree, definitely.
He's stuck even if it's a bad deal.
Yep, because he trusted someone to take care of him, so.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you tell him you signed it?
I signed another copy after the fact. I never signed it on set. I never signed
Did you
it
sign a copy of the contract, yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, are you saying that because you know that he has provided to me the emails where you're claiming to him because you're stringing him along? Yeah, I signed it. Didn't you get it? I don't understand. I scanned it and emailed it. How did you not get it?
So I put in those numbers and I signed that so he would
I'm
stop
looking at a
calling
series
me.
of texts back and forth, okay?
Yes.
And the texts back and forth are like, I have not received anything. Please have it resent to my email address by midnight. Sure, I'll resend it when I get in. And then the next day, listen, I still didn't get anything. Oh, you didn't get it? I can't believe it. Culminating with an email on February 24th. By the way, when was the filming?
It was January 16th to January 20th.
And culminating with an email on February 24th from Mr. Callaway to Mr. Chavez saying, the money I'm expecting did not come through as of yet. Look, I know how this works. I mean, not because I've personally been through it, but I have had enough cases like this where you're struggling, you're sort of borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. It's a low budget thing, but it's artistic and you love it and everyone does it for the love of the work, but people got to eat.
Absolutely.
And so not everyone, you're not a student, he's not a student, people want to eat and they want to make the money that was agreed upon. And then maybe all of a sudden, went over budget and you may not have the money right now. And he was very understanding. I can see in the series of texts and emails back and forth that he waited a month. And you kept telling him, oh, Friday, oh, this. And then finally, on February 24th, which is almost a month later, he had told you, listen, pay me in 3 parts if you can't pay me the $900 that you owe me. And in all the emails and the texts, it's all the $900 that you owe me. $700 that's the remaining of his, and the $200 that you're supposed to reimburse him for the guy, which you're saying are not the facts of this case, and yet that's what the texts say. And then you send him an email saying, the money I expected to come through as of yet did not, but before the week is out, it will, at which time I'll give you $300, then $300 on the 5th, and $300 on the 19th. This is the worst case scenario. I apologize. I'm doing all I can. That's you acknowledging that you owe him $900, just like he says. Now, you've added to that $300 because you're angry, I guess, really.
Well, I'm also paying someone to work for me today because after I leave here, I got to go back to another film set and out of time also.
Not really. That's not how it sort of works, Like if you're a neurosurgeon, you can't come in and say, I lost 10 grand today, so my $900 case became a $10,900 case. All right. So I find in your favor in the amount of the $900, $700 for you and $200 for your assistant, plus your court costs, of course, in filing this case. Okay. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, so the director, producer man coming on out here is the defendant. Unfortunately, you lost your case. Step right next to him right here. What's your reaction to the verdict first?
I did, enjoy working with the guy, so the fact that, I lost is not terrible, but I didn't agree to pay him $900. I agreed to pay him an additional $500. Once he decided to start talking a little different on the text and the email, I said, I'm not paying the $5.
How tough is it to produce this stuff out of your own pocket, independent film?
Oh, it's ridiculously tough, but, it's a passion, so I'm sure if I continue to work at it, I'll be
Where do you get the money to actually even fund it?
Work. Just,
working your day
9 to
job.
5 work, yeah, and trying to get out of that 9 to 5 work by doing the passion work.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Right down there. All right, so come on in here. You satisfied with what you got out of this? Step up a little bit.
Yeah, I am.
How do you like the lighting in here?
It looks good. Looks good.
Good lighting? How about the production? His work?
Honestly, the production was great. He was a really nice guy on set and very professional as a director. But as a producer, I can't really say the same.
Director is the artist, producer is the guy with the dollars and cents and actually puts the thing together. You think you should hire someone to produce her?
Hopefully next time, if he gets a better producer, I'd love to work with him as long as everything's like the judge said.
If he produces, you're not doing it.
I'm gonna have to walk.
Over to Harvey.
Bottom line here, an agent binds the principal even if the agent exceeds the authority that the principal gave him. Try to follow that. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.